Now, Tetris has long been touted as a video game that just can't be beaten because it just goes on and on.
Oh my God! Oh.
Well, 13-year-old American Willis Gibson has technically proven that wrong. He beat the original Nintendo version of the game by reaching such a high level that the coding froze. That left the program unable to generate any more falling blocks. As a mother, I would just say step away from the screen, go outside, get some fresh air. Beating Tetris is not a life goal. Speaking of fresh air, let's get a look at the weather.
So she got a lot of flack for that, and I think I understand why that is. You're not allowed to say it, okay, because it's incredibly politically incorrect. I mean, in a world where the most popular documentary last year was called What is a Woman, you're not allowed to notice differences. Like, we as humans, we have, like, body type A, body type B. How do you identify? Like, that is the limit of our knowledge, okay? And to even suggest that men and women may have, like, different preferences or different hobbies. Like women may like 50 Shades of Grey, men may like watching Rambo. That's heresy. That is dangerous for our democracy, Tovarish. But in reality, I did notice when I was in high school, again, like I experienced the world not through studies and reading the New York Times. I just look at the people around me and I notice things. And you notice that men, especially teenage boys, are very competitive. And they're competing with a lot of stuff, and it's healthy. Like, this is what creates success. I know that the left likes to look at the failures and the rejects that fail at the competition. And they're like, oh my God, this is so heartless. This is so hard. We must eliminate competition altogether. Everybody needs to be on the equality with the reject and the failure. Do not dare to succeed, Tovarish. But this mentality doesn't really create good nations. It doesn't motivate people to put men on the moon or discover new inventions, right? So this was my experience with men and boys. It's like it's normal and healthy to be competitive. South Park even had an episode where men were proud of their own shit. Now, this is how men behave. Meanwhile, women, they don't seem to behave that way, at least not in my high school. They were all about sharing, caring, talking, then discussing things, kind of like a D&D group, and we're a lot more collectivist. Now, I'm not saying that is a wrong thing, by the way, and of course not all women and not all boys, but it was a trend, wasn't it? I mean, I'm so sure that it was, to the point where I can even talk to the computer right now, assuming that you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I'll probably see it in the comment section. Please disagree if I'm wrong. Like, if the women were incredibly competitive, like in your high school, if the women were hyper competitive and they were trying to beat Tetris and they were trying to set all these, records to things that no one cared about, I mean, please contradict me. But that was not my experience, right? So, where am I going with this? It's like, well, there is a different way for men to behave, and there is a different way for women. I mean, this, up until 10 years ago, wasn't even controversial. It's still not controversial to say in Romania, but to say it in California, it is the heresy of the utmost level. So, regardless, what I'm going with this is like, how can, I guess like a news anchor like this, how can they relate to young boys, right? How can they talk to them? Like, if it's not that they don't understand them. They're laughing, they're ridiculing, and they're mocking. And then the same people, the same individuals go Pikachu face when you see all of the baby faces standing up for Andrew Tate in Greece. Do you guys remember that? When Andrew Tate was locked up in Romania? It was almost like it happened yesterday. Gets locked up in my country, all of a sudden, like, people in Greece are protesting, and when you look at the picture, all of them have baby faces, not a single facial hair there. And it's like, okay, well, the problem is, because it is a problem, right? Like, I do think that Andrew Tate is not a good example for boys, like, he's a womanizer. Like, his business is to train women in order to do online video chat. Like, come on, I wouldn't want my boy to do that. But that aside, objectively speaking, he does have a very large male audience, and the question is why. Well, this is why, right? Because like, who are the boys going to follow? Are they going to follow someone like this lady that's mocking, ridiculing, belittling, and turning them away? I mean, don't get me wrong. Sure, it's Tetris, but to be the best at Tetris, how is it different than to be the best at chess? Or how is it different to be the best at, whatever the fuck 13-year-olds do? Like, no 13-year-old has discovered the cure for cancer, have they? Like most of them are into trivial shit, like the spelling bee. I mean, I'm willing to bet that this lady, if she would have heard that this little girl from some school that's a minority, the spice melange, right? If she managed to win the spelling bee competition, But the thing is, like, almost everyone wins the spelling bee competition every year, right? Like, how many people manage to beat Tetris? I mean, beating Tetris, that is quite the achievement, isn't it? Like, you're going to be popular. That kid, by the way, seemed to be an online streamer, right? Like, if you're an online streamer and you manage an achievement like beating Tetris, that's a lot of views. That transfers into money. Maybe that's why she's jealous. Maybe she's jealous because she's getting competition. Like, someone else from the bedroom is managing to do what she needs an entire production team to do. But I think this is why I was a little bit upset, is that there is no empathy or attempt to understand the young generation. Like, my father would definitely understand why I would be happy when I was 13 if I managed to beat Tetris. I'm sure that an adult, like if I was to manage to beat Tetris right now, I wouldn't probably have the same reaction like the kid, or if I did, they would definitely be exaggerated. But I can understand like why a 13-year-old is feeling like that for breaking a world record, for doing something that no one else managed to do. And there's so many other world records that are ridiculous, but you don't see news anchors scoff at it. You don't see like, some kid managed to count to, I don't know, like 1,500,000 without sleeping. I'm pretty sure that's a world record somewhere, right? You're not going to see a news anchor like, just go outside. You don't want to know what's outside? COVID, that's outside. Yeah, no. Am I the only one though? Am I the only one that's looking at this and I'm thinking that she's the one that needs to go outside? When do news anchors ever go outside? No? Like, do news reporters go outside? They sit in a studio all day, don't they? Yeah. Sorry, maybe I overreacted. I don't know. It's just, she triggered me. I gotta say, every now and then, it happens. Right-wingers rarely get triggered, but it happened today. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It does help me with the algorithm. Take care.